Hello. I've got no idea how to start this thing or what exactly I'm going to discuss. At some point, I need to sit down and watch the newest ridiculous Tom and Jerry tie in movie. You know those ridiculous, let's put Tom and Jerry in a classic movie. There's one with Sherlock Holmes, there's one with The Wizard of Oz, and the most recent entry, which has garnered the attention of some of the bigger internet personalities out there, like Saber Spark or the Nostalgia Critic. Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I need to sit down and watch that. First time I heard about it was a ridiculous discussion I was having with my buddy Bacon the other night. Apparently, one of his buddies convinced him to sit down and watch the Crapsterpiece, and I can't really say anything about it. All I know about that particular movie tie in, or rather, this particular. Is the microphone muted or something? Or. Well, really long ass ramble short. What makes this movie stand out are the weird ass facial expressions. Several people have been screen capping some of the more noteworthy ones, like you have somebody's pupils going in two completely different directions, or just incredibly creepy, nightmare inducing faces on the part of the characters, and just it's been fun. It's fun to just look up this particular movie. Just look up Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka on Tumblr or something. And there have been people that have been recreating some of these nightmare inducing facial expressions. It's fantastic. It's fantastic just somebody going out of their way to recreate the nightmare inducing facial expressions that was somehow spawned by this movie. That's his claim to fame. That's the entire reason people are sitting down and watching it, because you have meme fodder here. You have this is going to get its own page on TV tropes. It's just one of those things that you're not quite sure how to explain. After I've sat down and watched it, I'll probably have a better gauge for whether or not it's a so bad it's a good experience or just something or just one of those things where it's better off to say this exists. Don't watch it, it just exists. Just stick to looking at ridiculous screenshots. I don't know if I'm going to have a lot to really discuss today. Starting out with Tom and Jerry and Willy Wonka in regards to I just don't really watch much TV. Hey Teresa, hey Pierce. I think it's a bit too late to really discuss too much about the Star versus the Forces of Evil TV movie. Or rather, I've said all I really want to say about it right now. Been playing with the idea of saying more about I have been playing with the idea of making another video about Starco or Star Marco or whatever. But I kind of want to wait until the end of season 3 to say anything else about it, or to elaborate or expand from the first shipping corner video I made, because I feel like there'd be a lot more to work with by the end of season 3. The most I'll say about it at this particular point in time is that I swear they're dangling huge chunks of ship bait in people's faces. I've made this comment a couple of times. I'd bet money that Marco and Star are going to be canon by the middle of season 3, if not sooner. I'd bet money on this. Though, in regards to Star and Marco romantic development, I'm not sure how far that's really going to get taken in season 3, considering the big focus of the TV movie was taking down Ludo and Toppy respectively. And there's still a lot going on in the Kingdom of Muti. There's still a lot of political tension and unease that they need to iron out. There's also build up to Queen Eclipsa being revealed as a big bad. There's going to be several episodes that expand more on Jana and Tom. Hell, I saw the clip for an episode from season 3, the one with Star and Tom dancing and stuff. I'm in the camp of people that thinks this is going to be a flashback episode, that it's going to expand on how did Star and Tom first meet, or what circumstances led to them dating, and how that particular experience played out. What I'm curious about is that episode going to chronicle all of the parts or aspects of their relationship, or is that just going to be one of the subplots or part of the bigger story in that particular episode? You could have the Tom and Star romance as one of the central pieces in like TV advertisements or getting people to sit down and watch it. But it could very well be an episode about the political relationship between Muti and the underworld, and focus more on what exact kind of relationship they have. Like, are they allies, or just giving more context to what kind of relationship or dynamic that is. Slightly different ballpark from relations between humans and monsters, that's for sure. Definitely been really curious. What is the general perspectives between humans and demons? Do they get along amicably enough, or is there some tension or unrest there? Because it's pretty clear what kind of relationship the humans and monsters have. You could actually, yeah, it's pretty clear what they're going for with that, but has there ever been any kind of unrest or unease between humans and demons? Kind of interesting to think about. I'm actually thinking in the same direction there, PC, that the whole Tom and Star thing might just be Marco and Star swapping stories about exes or previous relationships or whatever. Though, again, Tom made a prominent appearance in the season 3 intro. He's obviously stepping up from minor or secondary character to a more active role. May just be may just be an episode focusing on that just to give more character development to Tom. May not even have anything to do with Star and Marco. Don't know. Though the idea of them swapping stories about previous romances and exes, I will say this much. Ah, okay, you got me there, PC. I obviously I wasn't paying close enough attention to the tie-in book. I need to look at it again. Yeah. Man, my brain is blinking right now. I have that book right here. I should go ahead and just pick that up and look through it. Maybe even pull up the exact blurb where it talks about the relationship between the butterflies and Tom's family. Hmm. I'll admit that in between Tom and Jana picking up more major roles in the series, or the possibility of it, I'm really excited to see more about Jana, or I I don't see some big dramatic reason for going over to Muni and wandering around. More like she does it just because she wants to. I'm curious to see what kind of chaos or antics she'll get up to. I can just see her becoming very notorious and well known very fast, and not for good reasons. Enlightened Robot, I'm thinking more that this is just going to be more of a Tom establishing episode or something like that. I just don't see Tom trying to make another move or trying to strike up another romantic scene with Star. I think he's pretty much given up on that. Tom recreating the moment with Marco. Oh my god, that would drive Tomko fans nuts. Part of me kind of likes the idea of some kind of weird set of circumstances or a situation where Tom and Marco have to do some kind of waltz or dance with each other and they're just glaring at each other the whole time. And not as a whole romantic tension development kind of thing, but just because of what kind of dynamic they had. There's so much comedic potential. I love the frenemy dynamic between Marco and Tom. It's been pretty fantastic so far. So far we've gotten a freaking duet where they're both cheerfully belting out the lyrics to a freaking boy band song. So I don't see it beyond the realm of possibility that the two are forced to dance with each other or some other incredibly over the top or ridiculous situation. Oh! Enlightened Robot, you shouldn't have told me that. If there's a tweet or something where Darren makes a comment about this, please send it my way. I have got very, very horrible intentions in mind. I am such a horrible person. If there's a comment from, please send me the comment where Darren talks about wanting to include more Tomko stuff. Please, I need to see this. Damn it. I'm gonna have to dig further into this. For some context here, if you know me on a one-on-one level and I'm an ornery little shit. If you tell me that there's a ship you don't like or something like that, okay, I'm just going to phrase it like this. I have a buddy that's not a very big fan of Tom, and by extension, not a very big fan of Tomko. So I want to look this up to send a link to one of my buddies just to get his reaction, just to see what he says. It's one of those cases where I like getting a rise out of somebody. That's why I'm so excited about this, and I'm like, send me the link to this, please. I swear, this is why I shouldn't record things where I don't have a script or at least some kind of outline in mind, because half of it is just me chuckling at my own bad jokes or something. Half the time, if I try to record a vlog, it usually takes me two or three attempts to get it the way I want it. Because half of it is just me snickering or cackling or just going, Rrr! If you've seen the live events, you know exactly what I do. It's pretty much half of Headcanon Hive. Hell, how much of this has been just awkward pauses or me cackling about something so far. Oh, it's a video. It's a video. That's great. Yes, yes. Send the link. Send the link, robot. Send the link. Send the link on Tumblr. I am going to post a link to that right now. Yes, I'm on there again. Give me a second. I'm going to post the obligatory self-indulgent link to my new Tumblr page, or rather the one I'm most active on. I have one for R. Scrooge again, but I just haven't written anything rambly or discussion wise there. I've been a lot more active with posting doodles and stuff on my new art blog. Okay. I am checking my inbox right now. Oh, yes, I got the link to the Tomco thing. I'm going to be posting a link to that too. Here's a link to the Tomco thing. That's probably been what everybody's been waiting for with bated breath. Watching through the link right now. Okay, yeah, it's probably digging a bit too much into that to say that. At the very least, we're going to be seeing more interaction between Tom and Marco. After watching that, though, that seems pretty on par or typical fare for what a creator would do if they want to kind of drum up fans a little bit, but keep things ambiguous. Like there's only so much that they can really say about the upcoming season. That came across as somebody that's a good sport about a ship or something like that, but I don't know. I don't necessarily, even though the person asking the question specifically referred to it as Tomco, I I just don't think we're going to get that kind of context in the series. And I'm still gonna send the link anyway. Just okay, it's probably going to be a while before I get off this particular topic. I'm just too entertained. I freaking loved Darren Nepsy's reaction. Just man, if there's any cartoon creators I would love to meet in person just because of she'd be one of them. I'd also want to meet Alex Hirsch. Just just to see what the guy's like in person, just to see what the man behind the creation is like, or get a you know what I mean? They Darren seems like a really friendly, easy to get along with kind of person. Like if you look at Star Versus, I think that one thing you can say about any kind of form of art is that you can get a feel for what the person's personality is like. Like you can guess at certain things about them, what their interests might be, or how they might hold and conduct themselves. And it's that much more interesting when you get to see the person or creator behind a piece of fiction or work. Just talk to them and see what inspired them to create said thing, or even just have a casual conversation with them, see the man behind the mask kind of thing. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go off on a bit of a ridiculous tangent here for a second. If there's another cartoon creator I'd kind of like to meet, it's Rebecca Sugar. But the person who would get me to pack up and immediately go to a con would be John Delancey, the legend himself, the voice of Discord on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and the fabulous Q from pretty much all the incarnations of Star Trek. I need John Delancey's autograph. My life would be complete if I got to meet the man. Just yes. Yes. I'm I'm kind of confused here too. What leak are you talking about? PC or episode ban? Okay, I'm kind of lost here. I'm going to start this with PC what or PC and everybody. What leak are you talking about? And Enlightened Robot, what episode ban? Also, in the meantime, while waiting for some context here, I'm sorry to be a bit out of the loop. I haven't been keeping track of fandom things here lately. I've been spending a lot of my free time watching Star Trek and Little Witch Academia. In the meantime, I am going to what show you guys a commission the artistic alpaca recently did for my buddy the brain teaser. This is of her fan character Chive and Sour Cream from Steven Universe. Ah, shoot. Do you think alpaca would be okay with me showing that up on screen here? I'm gonna ask real quick. I'm not just going to go ahead and show it since I want permission first. Okay, I just shot the question out. Sorry about that or teaser, but I don't just want to go ahead and assume that I can do that. I Oh, the leak was talking about okay, just a second here. Looking back through comments. Oh, there's leaks for just about every cartoon that comes out. Like Steven Universe, there's always some kind of episode leak or somebody that cobbled together some kind of screenshot or put together a bunch of fake titles saying, this is a new spate of episodes coming out soon. And then, yeah, you have fiascos like Steven Universe seems to be especially notorious for this right now, or seems to happen the most often. Like, before the latest Steven Bomb came out, you had all the episodes for pretty much the latest Steven Bomb with Yellow Diamond, Blue Diamond, Steven and his dad going to Homeworld, all of that jazz that was leaked. Yeah, it just seems unfortunately it just seems to be a thing that happens with cartoons every so often. When it pops up, just take it with a grain of salt. And the most I'm really going to say on that is try and watch it through legal channels. Like, if you watch TV, watch it when it comes on TV or when there's a rerun of it. Maybe put it on DVR. Maybe watch it on Hulu several different times when it gets put up on there. Buy it on Amazon Prime if you like it enough. I'm not going to get up on a soapbox and rant about that, though. I'm just going to call it an unfortunate fact of what happens with really popular cartoons, or just something that I don't condone it. I there's just not really much I can comment on, except if somebody says, "This is information leaked from season such and such of this particular program," take it with a grain of salt. Just wait for the official thing to come out if you can, and go ahead and start up all the fan theories and fandom nonsense when the official thing comes out or there's an established comment from a creator talking about said official thing. Okay, I just got permission to show off Brain Teaser's commission from the Artistic Alpaca. I'm going to go ahead and shamelessly share this right now. Here it is in all of its glory. This is the Brain Teaser's musician character, Chive. She has an interesting green streak in her hair. If I tell me if I got the story here or her background story wrong, Brain Teaser. But basically, Chive is a fairly well-known musician that I get the impression that she's an indie musician that is an up and comer in Beach City. Like she has a lot of fans there. She's fairly well known. And she and Sour Cream kind of hit it off. There's kind of like a romance between the two, and this is kind of capturing how low key, sweet, and innocent these two are. I I remember an RP a while back where I was playing the role of Peridot, and Brain Teaser was playing Chive, and just how some of the interactions between these two were set up. They don't really comment on it, but between the two, it seems like Chive is the one who is gonna be the one who makes moves. Like she's going to be the one that initiates things. But it comes across in the first couple of phases as there's attraction there, but neither one is really ready to make a move quite yet. They're in the phase just before someone admits something or that you know what I mean. You've seen romance stories where you kind of have awkward flirtations between a couple of characters. You know they're going to get together, but there's always at least one that's a bit more willing or confident to make a move, or they're just a bit more aware or ready to push things along. Between these two, it's Chive. Or at least that's my take on it anyway. And more shameless shilling here. I am going to go ahead and leave a link to the Artistic Alpacas page here. If you're interested in commissioning her, go ahead and hit her up on Tumblr or ask about commissions. I don't really have all that information available at the moment. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and look that up and leave an obligatory link to that as well. Ack. It drives me nuts that if I look up one of my buddy's usernames on Tumblr, they don't immediately pop up. I have to go back and dig through shit to find it. Just, bah! Here is the Artistic Alpacas page, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up the commission thing too. This is a link to the commission guide as well. Oh, thanks, Alpaca. God, I'm so bad about doing this. So bad about. Well, this is the commission info. Going to leave a link to that as well here. Is it bad that I'm almost half tempted to I am so tempted to commission Alpaca to draw Starco for my buddy or no, I'm No, there's this horrible inside joke that I have with one of my buddies on Talking Rainbows, Talking Puppies, where we bring up Star's gonna get together with the two-headed red guy minion. And Alpaca, remember that ridiculous Jasper Mayor Dewey picture I asked you to draw? You may end up getting another commission along those lines, where it's Star with two-headed red guy from Star versus the Forces of Evil. I'm a horrible person. Okay, for some context here. I don't remember what exactly brought up this particular discussion, but Alpaca mentioned that she and her buddy started up this fantastically ridiculous crack ship with Jasper and Mayor Dewey. And I commissioned her to draw a piece with Jasper and Mayor Dewey. My original intention was I'm going to make an April Fool's shipping corner discussing why these two would be an interesting fit, how they would play off of each other. But unfortunately, never sat down to write the script. Things just didn't pan out. But I do not regret commissioning the artistic Alpaca to draw that, though, because it turned out fantastic, in my personal opinion. Or actually, I just thought of an idea I like better than Star and two-headed red guy. We need a waltz scene with Tom and Marco in the artistic Alpaca style. Like with the Blood Moon Ball outfits and the red atmosphere and everything. And the expressions on their faces are like, there's some tension going on here. They're about a couple of minutes away from a kiss, but they don't like the idea either. Just like one of those horrible enemies falling in love types of situations. Yes. I have not seen the Voltron Season 3 trailer. To be brutally honest, I need to sit back and I need to watch through the first seasons of Voltron again. I need to watch through season 1 and 2 back to back because I'm forgetting a lot of details. I want to slap myself in the face for that, but if season 3 premiered tomorrow and I started watching through it, there'd be kind of a disconnect. I really like Voltron as a series. I like what direction the writers have taken with it, the newer adaptation. I almost think I'd be kind of disappointed if I went back and watched what the original property was like, saw what the original intentions were, how Voltron came to be, how the characters were set up there. I think I'd be kind of disappointed after seeing this particular interpretation, because to me, the Voltron crew in that series, that's the Voltron crew to me. That's the incarnation I'd be biased towards, because that's my introduction to it. That is my introduction to Voltron. PC, since you brought up Miraculous Ladybug, this is probably going to sound horrible on my part, but I had no intention of watching back through the first season of Miraculous Ladybug. I just don't. If I were gonna brush up on a few particular points for another, okay, this is gonna sound incredibly horrible on my part, but if I were going to watch back through season 1, it'd probably be for a rip track session with my buddies, or to refresh myself on some of the more major points between Marinette and Adrien. If anyone ever wondered if there was a particular cartoon or show that I kept tabs on for shipping fodder alone, Miraculous Ladybug is it. Sorry about the dog barking in the background. It's coming out August 4th. Oh man. Shit, that is not very far away. Okay, it's probably going to be a while before I get to watching Voltron season 3 then. I need I want to watch through the first couple of seasons again, and I'm probably going to be doing so solo. Ah, shit, that's another series I've been meaning to watch, but haven't yet. Pin Zero. That's another show I need to watch through. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm behind on a lot of stuff. The most recent cartoon I've seen are the only one. I don't watch TV very often anymore. It pretty much boils down to Star Versus is pretty much the only current cartoon I'm keeping tabs on. That and Steven Universe, and I'm kind of vaguely aware of what else is premiering on TV. Otherwise, I've been watching through Star Trek and recently finished watching through Little Witch Academia. Oh man, after hearing that this is the end of the show, yeah, I really got to give this show a chance. That that just kills me. I'm probably going to end up getting really into it too and be so disappointed that it ended prematurely or whatever. This happens with every other show I watch. It happened with Dan Versus. Just as I was really getting into the show, getting really hyped for it, I discovered it ended with it ended. There's no chance it's going to come back. I'm still disappointed in that to this day. Dan Versus managed to chisel its way into my top 10 favorite cartoons of all time just because of Dan and some of the comedic writing for the show. When it comes to what kinds of cartoons or shows I pick for my top favorites of all time, well, I really enjoy cartoons like Adventure Time, regular show, Steven Universe. Will even give them credit for what kind of moves they make writing wise or in regards to character development. I'll even put Star Versus in this particular matchup right here. The ones that make it into my top 10, the ones that I'm nostalgic for 10 years later, are the ones that had the best comedic writing, that had an interesting take or spin on humor or cartoony over the top antics. As an example here, Ed, Edd n Eddy was my favorite childhood cartoon. I consider League of Super Evil one of my all-time favorite cartoons. It's not one of the best cartoons out there. There's even some elements of the show that I'll say could be written up a lot better or could have been executed a lot better. But it's the fact that it's one of the few cartoons out there that's a comedic take on villains. The villains are the main characters, and I have such a soft spot for the comedic, over the top, bumbling villain. That's why that one snagged a. That's why that one's in my top 10. Because it hits all the notes I would want from a cartoon, or what kind of cartoon I that's a big part of why I wish Villainous would get a full-blown series too. Enlightened Robot, I'd say I'm in the same I'm in the same boat. I do that myself. It's hell, I keep forgetting that Rick and Morty season 3 is gonna premiere soon. It's because somebody told me, or I see stuff popping up on Tumblr about it. Can you believe that? And I call myself a Rick and Morty fan. Reading through some of the comments right there. This is Lotso. Yes, I'm very aware of that. Not going to dredge that up because, quite frankly, I consider it a dead horse topic. Ah, PC. I don't know if I necessarily call switching point of view characters between the protagonist and the antagonist wander over yonder move. Though, since you compared those two characters to Hater and Wander, I suppose that's an apt way to describe it. Hmm. Oh yeah, I just remembered in the last live event, had a little bit of a discussion about villainous. There's a point that was brought up that I've been knocking my head against the wall for how badly I misconstrued it. Somebody brought up that Mordecai was killed in Villainous. For a second, I thought that was one of the lead characters and that there was a short that I had missed where they'd actually gone so far as to kill off one of the leads in a cartoony kind of way, like turn him into dust or just had him disappear. Sort of pulled a "you killed Kenny" kind of thing. No, I was completely wrong on that. Goes how much to show how much research I was actually doing on the show. No, there was a short where they had a blue jay that kind of looked like Mordecai from regular show, and somebody shamelessly shot it with a laser or something like that. That guy, in regards to Amazing World of Gumball, I've been tuning into that every so often. Definitely enjoy it when I do. Gumball's been striking out of the park since season 3 and beyond. I'd say they're still going pretty strong. I'm almost disappointed that the creator decided to end it. The writers behind that show, my God, are they masters of fourth wall breaking comedy and just how to use their bizarre mix of all these different graphic design elements and animation to their advantage. Just taking self aware cartoon characters to the next level, turning tropes on their head. Like, you know how there's always that one character in the background who works all the different jobs and it's just kind of seen as they didn't feel like designing other characters to fill in the cashier role or whatever. I love how far they pushed the envelope with Larry in one episode. The fact that he decides to take a day off, or I think outright quit, I think it was. Elmore cannot function without that guy being a workaholic. Coming back to the whole Mordecai making a cameo in Villainous kind of thing, yeah, it was a goofy, over the top cameo. It was just that much funnier that one of them accidentally shot the blue jay with the laser. That I kind of hope they make a few more references like that. That'd just be great. Like have other characters show up in the background every so often. Like maybe even have Finn show up and stumble into one of the devices, or I don't know. Yeah, Not having Mark Hamill's Black Hat, major missed opportunity. Had a couple of conversations about what kind of move they made in regards to picking voices for Villainous. And to be brutally honest, I don't mind the idea of Markiplier as a big blue bear. I guilty pleasure. I watch some of Mark's videos every once in a while, and he comes across as somebody that could be a voice actor to me. Like he could play overzealous, over the top characters and do so fairly well. Trying to think of, oh yeah, there's another YouTuber that I wish this guy would take on some voice acting roles or just cameo in something every so often. And that's Lazy Game Reviews. Not just for the Duke Nukem impression, but even just his casual speaking voice. I would I would absolutely love it if he voiced a tech nerd or a geek or even played a narrator in an animation or something. Oh, the creator of the show voices Black Cat in both Spanish and English. Okay, that definitely assuages my nerves about the casting. That's good. Very good thing. That's just as good, if not better, than Mark Hamill doing an impression for Black Cat. The reason why I say that is it keeps the. I don't know. It's one of those cases along the lines of Alex Hirsch voicing Dipper, I think, where the creator voices their own character. They know exactly what they wanted to go with for the character. They have the exact voice that they wanted for him. Oh, okay. I can see Mark's voice fitting for a situation like that. I'm okay with that. Okay, scrolling back through the comments here, really want to touch on this. Some kind of collaboration between the Gumball crew and the guys behind Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Oh man, you got me excited. I have got to see this episode now. That is just fantastic. I can just imagine what kinds of insanely creative things that kind of collaboration would spawn. I love it. I love the idea. I love that. Can't wait to see that particular episode of Gumball. Just yes. Oh yeah, I still need to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. Well, really bad about that. Sorry about the dogs. Once again, sorry about the dogs. They're barking because they want treats. We went outside, so that means we should get big elaborate treat. Yes, they're spoiled. They are tiny spoiled dogs. No, they came with their names, Will. Or else, if I'd been able to name a dog, I probably would have been sorely tempted to name it Chadwick. Oh, who am I kidding? I would have named it after a cartoon character. If I'd named a pet after a tune recently, it'd probably be named Wander. The dogs themselves, one is a 10 something year old Karen Terrier, the other is a 3-year old Chihuahua Shih Tzu mix. media detective, you might want to be careful about what kinds of comments you make here. What I mean by that is the Steven Universe crew did team up with the guys behind Uncle Grandpa on a whim. If Rebecca Sugar or one of the Crewniverse thinks the idea of a collaboration sounds enticing or interesting enough, they'd probably go for it. I wouldn't necessarily shelve the possibility that there could be a weird Steven Universe crossover. I don't think that's going to happen. Uh, Give me a minute. Sorry about that. Checking to see what was going on in the background. Oh God. Just looking at some of the comments here. Will, no. Don't give people nightmare fuel. The bad fan fictions were bad enough. No. No, 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 no. Do I need to bring up the enchiladas thing again? I will dredge that up. I will dredge up that unfunny joke where I was the only one that found it funny. Huh. I'm surprised a picture like that didn't pop up sooner for some context or playback purposes here. Someone drawing a picture of the 2003-2004 Teen Titans beating up Teen Titans Go. I'm assuming you're saying that this picture featured characters from that. Or is it a case where it's the original Teen Titans, like the very first ones that popped up in the comics beating up Teen Titans Go? That actually, I'll admit that actually be kind of interesting to see somebody illustrate, but I am going to shelve that particular discussion. Teen Titans Go is one of those topics that don't really have anything interesting or new to say about it, so I pretty much just leave it alone. My take on topics like that, like Teen Titans Go, or some of these other cartoons that seem to be universally or critically panned. Like, let's just pull out some of the big ones here: Breadwinners, Fanboy and Chum Chum. They're like that. Everybody and their idiot brother has commented on them to the point that they're a dead horse. If you're gonna bring it up, you might as well bring up an interesting spin or take on it. Something that somebody else hasn't brought up, or a point that's slightly different from what everybody else has been saying about it. Clarence, I think that's still on the air. I couldn't really say. That's not a cartoon I keep active tabs on. Feel kind of bad about that because a couple of the episodes I've seen, I really liked it. It's a pretty laid back, easygoing cartoon, a bit quirky and eccentric. I'd actually say that it captures the same vibe that Ed Nettie did. That the writing for the kid characters is believable. They actually use kid logic. They act like real kids. It's surprising just how rare it is for a cartoon to capture that or really express that and how the writing is. Ah, not going to talk about Cartoon Network's air schedule. I've seen a couple of videos where people tackle that, and it's pretty much a given. It's just Teen Titans Go marathons back to back with some of the new shows sprinkled in. That seems to be the status quo. They're pretty much pulling the Nickelodeon formula, what they do with SpongeBob. Dead horse topic. Hmm. Feel kind of bad that I didn't really go up on a ramble or start up a discussion about Star versus conspiracy theories. Instead, it was like, what, 5, 6 minute discussion about Tom and Marco and ridiculous romantic drama in the show. Okay. Rick and Morty season 3. Really looking forward to it. Wondering if the episode that they showed on April Fools was specifically an April Fools episode or the official episode 1. And Rick and Pearl, that is a very interesting pair. I definitely want to take a few steps back and think about that a bit more before really saying anything about it. There's interesting potential. To be brutally honest, I could see a situation where Rick was kind of fascinated by or interested in Pearl, but I don't see her reciprocating his feelings. And a big reason why I say that, he doesn't seem like her type or somebody that she'd go for. You know what I mean? In regards to OKKO, unfortunately, somebody's probably going to smack me for this, but I still haven't sat down and watched it yet. Enlightened Robot, you're probably going to hate this, but I kind of like Tom and Jana too. I have really I have really been attached to the idea of Tom and Jana interacting in some way. I also really like the idea of what kind of comedic potential or interesting character interactions you get between the two. I've even been sold on the idea of Tom and Jana kind of getting together. I like the idea. I like it a lot. I am on board the Tom and Jana ship. Oh, sorry, I was misinterpreting the comments section here. Oh, that was it's a ship name for Rick and Pearl. Oh my god, I can't believe that went straight over my head. Pearl and Rick do the ridiculous name mashup. Rick. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am so sorry for completely misinterpreting that. I can't believe that flew right over my head. Just yeah. Now I'm remembering. Yeah, Enlightened Robot, you were the guy that you were the one that sold me on Tom and Jan in the first place. I can't believe I forgot that post. I can't believe I forgot it. Or almost forgot it anyway. Yeah, your post about Tom and Jana and what kind of interesting potential or character interactions they might have. That's exactly what sold me on it. Will, I don't know about that. Nah, Pearl's type is okay. Let's start with the elephant in the room. It's a giant Amazon woman with pink hair. That's the physical archetype. Personality wise, she likes someone competent, assertive, ready to take action, passionate, emotional, just this right mix between someone incredibly strong, but also very emotional and compassionate too. Just that kind of combination. That is Pearl's type. What? Oh my god, Will, stop. I am not entertaining this. This is coming from somebody that one of my joke ships. I mentioned this earlier. Star and two-headed red guy from Star versus the Forces of Evil. That's my joke ship. But okay, Mr. Krabs and Pearl takes the cake for most ridiculous crack ship of all time, or one of these most ridiculous ones I've seen. Just and I was skeptic about the idea of Pearl and Rick. Just even though a lot of the entertainment value of the crossover of a crossover ship with Pearl and Rick is the obligatory couple name, Rick. Even though that's the big draw or attraction, it's also kind of interesting to think about because again, I could see Rick being fascinated or he liked the idea of getting together with Pearl. She's intelligent, she's fairly attractive, but it would not be mutual attraction by any stretch of the imagination. Pearl would be very turned off by the guy. Robot stuff, no. What? Why is it that our first picks for a romantic pair with Pearl here are a greedy, curmudgeonly old restaurant owner, e.g., Mr. Krabs, or an old asshole scientist? Come on, guys, we can do better than that. I could see I could see that. I could see him saying that media detective. I'm going to I'm going to read back this quote. Hey Morty, I'm dating this alien rock. I'm calling ourselves a prick. I could totally see him being way too happy about that, especially emphasizing the couple matchup names. Geez. In regards to trying to sell me on the idea of Pearl and Rick as a romantic couple, it's just not gonna happen, okay? It's just not gonna happen. I challenge somebody to try writing a fan fiction, though. Write a fan fiction where they're both in character and they end up getting together. Sell me on the idea that this absurdity could happen. I dare somebody to. If you do, if you sell this, you're a fantastic writer. And major props to the person that can make that work. I'm horrible for saying that. If somebody wrote a fan fiction about that, I would read it. I would read that fan fiction. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. What did I And when I say I would read it, I mean I'd pull it up and read it and possibly leave a comment. No dramatic readings. I'm not digging myself that hole. Nope. Nope. Okay, Will. Go ahead and send the links. Okay. I will read these at my own discretion. Again, I am not gonna do dramatic readings for this stuff. Oh boy. Oh my god. I'm probably gonna regret looking at these links. I'm probably gonna regret it. There's actually already fan fiction about these two floating around. I shouldn't be surprised. The surprising thing would probably be that there isn't more of it, I guess. I'm not sending the links to these. You can look them up yourself. I'm not, just no. I'll have to check out some of his stuff, Media Detective. I'll admit, I've started reading fan fiction again. I do so every once in a while, and it's for a ship that I consider my top secret ship. One I am not going to admit to. I'm gonna frame it like this. You can go ahead staring at the ceiling late at night wondering what the hell it is. I am not revealing what this ship is, the thing that got me to start reading fan fiction again. I'm not admitting to it. Damn it, for the past hour or so, I pretty much sold myself on the idea of commissioning the artistic alpaca for that picture, so keep an eye out. May end up seeing that float across my dash on Tumblr at some point. Oh my god, that is so far from it. You don't know just how far Eclipse and the Chocolate Guy from SpongeBob is what it actually. Divin Gas from Invader Zim? Hell no. I don't ship that kind of stuff. I don't ship anybody from Invader Zim, actually. I don't ship anyone in there, period, let alone the taboo shit. In regards to other just other videos talking about ships or whatever, I don't know when the next one's gonna be. I've been playing with discussing Kira and Odo from Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, or Andrew and Akko from Little Witch Academia. I've kind of been playing with the idea of writing out something for one of those two. Enlightened Robot, in regards to who Rick would go well with, I just can't see him being a good fit for anybody, period. Rick's just one of those characters that I think is better off alone. He needs a network of well-established platonic friendships and to strengthen his bonds with family before even entertaining the idea of romance for his character. I'm just gonna frame it like that. I was fascinated by his relationship with Unity. I don't know if I've uploaded the shipping corner I did on those two. If I haven't, I need to. I'm fascinated by what kind of dynamic they had. Just for future reference, I'm not necessarily attached to discussing just ships that work or ones that have gotten together canonically or ones that are a perfect fit. I'm on board with discussing ones that didn't really work either. And kind of dissecting and discussing why they didn't work, but what kind of impact it left on both characters. That's definitely what I was going for with the Rick and Unity thing. That's actually more along the lines of what I'd like to discuss when it comes to ships or romantic relationships in fiction. That's why I'm kind of just something that has a bit more grounding or there's more to it than just, I think these two characters would be interesting together. In regards to discussing Kira and Odo, I think there's a lot of ground that can be covered. Just I like how that I like how Deep Space Nine went about establishing their relationship, how they got together, how they played off of each other. Hmm. Though, in regards to the next video I'm probably going to be making, it's probably not going to be about shipping. I've been thinking about expanding more on a more ridiculous video series that I've had in mind for a while. Like taking one-off scenes from cartoons and using it as a springboard to discuss strange or obscure topics. Like there's an episode of Bob's Burgers where Bob and Teddy become scalpers or something, I think it is pretty much the illegal variant of golf ball diving. I think it'd be fun to make a video just discussing using that as a springboard to discuss golf ball diving. I know it seems kind of ridiculous, but it'd be in the same veins as another ridiculous video I made a while back where I used Jimmy Neutron's portable briefcase toilet idea to I want to make more ridiculous videos like that. I really do. Oh, Mongdal and Truffles. Definitely adding that to the list of ships I want to discuss. Definitely. Oh, Alex Hirsch said Wendy might be. Huh. It'd be interesting to see that explored if they do any more with Gravity Falls and have a story specifically following Wendy and what she goes on to do. I'm okay with that idea. Okay, I am going to make the Bob's Burgers gulp ball diving video. Be expecting that at some point, but unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be working with clips for that one. If I have anything from the show, it's probably just going to be screenshots because you know how Fox is with copyright notices and stuff. Pros and cons guy. Apparently, there is a discussion where Alex Hirsch said he's been playing with the idea of Wendy liking girls. So there is a possibility that Wendy is bisexual. Speaking of characters with that particular part of their character getting explored, what does everyone think about Luna Loud from the Loud House being bisexual? I really like how they kind of incorporated that into the show or how they went about revealing that particular tidbit about her character. It wasn't in your face. It was set up in a really cute, kind of endearing way. In regards to how they set that up in the Loud House, I remember having a conversation or looking at a Skype conversation with a couple of other people or a bigger group I was in, and they mentioned that that episode may have been the big reveal, but they've been hinting at it for a while now. In regards to characters being gay or bisexual or whatever, in the grander scheme of things, don't necessarily want to fixate on that particular part of the character. I guess I just wanted to put that out there to see what people thought about that being introduced in the series or how it was executed. It's better if it's just kind of subtle, if it's a character trait that's kind of revealed, but something that doesn't really need to take the limelight. In regards to the discussion about Wendy, I'd be interested to see. I'm okay with seeing her maybe go on a date with a girl or something like that. But beyond that, if there was going to be a series following Wendy, I'd be a bit more interested to see if she joins Dipper on supernatural or paranormal investigations or what she'd go on to do with her life. I like the headcanon that Wendy decides to explore the world or travels across the country and goes on hiking trips and adventures and stuff. And I just see her being a really avid outdoorsman, somebody that doesn't really stay somewhere for very long once she's a bit older and knows what she wants to do with her life. That's what I've always headcanoned about her. That's actually you pretty much pegged exactly what I was thinking with the whole Luna Loud thing, that guy. God, I am blanking right now. I guess that's what happens after longer work shift, I guess. Probably need to get to bed pretty soon here since plan on getting up really early for work crap tomorrow. Not excited about it, but and that's a completely different discussion altogether though. I am not discussing my work situation on here. I guess I'll just leave it at this. It is very bizarre. It's definitely not a conventional work setup or schedule when compared to other people in my particular age demographic. Oh my god, well, since you brought that up, I am leaving an obligatory link to that in the description link to that in the chat now. Ah, come on, Amazon. Of course, it doesn't link what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is this gag that they released on Mother's Day or April Fool's Day. Don't exactly remember when it was, but it was pretty much a Harlequin romance novel or a parody of one starring Colonel Sanders. He has a gal in a tender embrace and he's holding a bucket of chicken. That's what I'm looking for. But when I look up the title of the book, I get the first thing that pops up a bra. A freaking bra. God. Uh, pros and cons guy, I'm probably not going to be on Skype tomorrow. I dare you to look up the title of this book. I dare you. Yeah, that explains it. Of course, it was a limited release. They were charging only $1 for it, so. But just imagine how fantastic it'd be to have a ridiculous series of Harlequin romance novels starring Colonel Sanders. Eclipsa and Rick. Not gonna comment on that quite yet, since we don't know anything about Eclipsa. Other than that, she's slated to be the big bad, and she made the forbidden chapter in the spellbook, and she likes chocolate. That's not really a basis to discuss whether or not she'd be a compatible fit for Rick, or if they'd be a good pair. If things are going in the direction I think they are, those two getting together would spell the destruction of the universe. Eclipse and Snickers is the only true ship. I am going to leave a shame. I'm going to shamelessly bring up one of my recent sketches on screen here. How much I love the ridiculous Eclipse likes chocolate thing. This is a sketch I drew about a week or so ago of Eclipsa with a Snoogers bar in B4 right below. I need to draw her as a cuckoo for Cocoa Puff cereal mascot. Just make this an entire freaking thing. Unlimited chocolate machine. That depends on if Rick was that determined to keep a relationship with her going. Oh my god! Dominator and Rick, no, 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 no. Oh god. Yeah, Robot, you pretty much got it. If Dominator was romantically interested in anybody, or if that kind of thing would work, Rick would be right up her alley. They get along way too well. And just, I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Oh my god, I hate that. It'd work, but it'd be fantastic for them, but horrible for everybody else. It'd be horrible for everybody else. That just if Dominator was the biggest asshole in her galaxy, she and Rick would be the asshole king and queen of the universe. I can't express how much I hate that. Just how my brain is finding ways that would just. It's probably pretty easy to figure out why I'm not. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. Went from discussing Tomko to Rick and Lord Dominator. Just Okay, I'm done. I am done. Have a good night, everybody. I need to get to bed.